Greetings everyone. Here today we're going to be painting X-23. We're going to start off with a white ink zenithal layer, just to get all of the highlights. This shows the whole model, so I wanted to do this one in regular speed. Just going around catching all the highlights with the white ink. And put together the model with blue tack, just to hold it all together. This is a pretty good model of X-23, to be fair. Making sure to cover the base as well. It's all done roughly from one direction, which would be the direction of light. Okay, now we're going to move on to doing the base. We're just going to cover this with silver. And once we've got the silver base down, then we'll do some shadows with black. Right, so here we've masked off the X, and we're going to paint the red things. And now we're going to move on to the body. We've left most of the exposed skin all constructed, so we can get a nice even match. And we're going to start off with a dark red to go on in all the shadows. And then come back with pinkle. Yeah, I stole that off someone else. But yeah, a very thin pink layer, just to bring warmth. And do the boots, which are black leather, but we're going to do variations on the black. This is a black air from Vallejo. So I'm just going to cover all of that up. It's a very thin layer, so the white will still actually come through slightly. And then we're going to do the trousers. Yeah, on the original artwork, the trousers are all black, but I didn't want that. So we're just going to do a little shading, and then we're going to do the hair with the chestnut brown. All the nooks and crannies, because this will be the light layer, this will be the dark layer, and over this we'll do a lighter colour. Trying to make it sort of highlighted or streaked. And go back, and now we're going to put some very thin blue layers on the trousers. Just to give it a little bit more interest than just black. Black and blue. Blue is one of the X-Men colours. So now that that's dry with the pink, we're going to put some flesh colour over the top of the pink and the red. And hopefully get a nice skin tone once we've got the light. And then we'll go over it with some darker mud. But all of these are very thin layers, 50-50. 50% water, 50% paint. Just to keep it all nice and directional. I'll put it on this bit of polystyrene, give it it a little spin. Just get it nice and dark it out with a bit of tan. Focus. I'll change the angle slightly just to get into all the nooks and crannies. And let that layer dry for a little bit and then come back to it. I know it's starting to look a bit yellow, but we're going to come back with some more flesh tone. Right, here we're going to do this. Is a bit of weathering on the base. I'm just going to use a very thin wash of black acrylic all over, and then we're going to pat it off with a kitchen towel until it leaves all of the shadows and dips and makes it look old and rubbish. So most of it actually comes off, but it leaves it in the important parts where it needs it. Right, we're going to come back and we're going to do some more flesh tones. And get that to dry. And back to the boot. Now you can see that the black I'm using here is significantly less gloss than the other one that I use for the undercoat. But we're going to highlight some of the areas, like the base of the boot and the straps. So this is the boot and the heel. To work on my prep. That's that one. Come back and do this one. This is the right foot. I thought I'd put a bit of black back onto the trousers by colouring up these panels. That's with black acrylic. But we'll actually come back and do a bit of a light blue over the top of this as a highlight. Just letting the brush fell in there. Oh, this is me doing a bit of a light blue over the top of everything once it's dry. Once it's dry. Upside down. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, this is a flesh tone that I'm going to put over the top of everything, and then we're going to paint up her top. A bit shaky today. Must be my blood sugar. I need to work with the masking a little bit more. prominent. I have masking, and sometimes it takes off the paint that you actually want to keep under the mask, but it will actually remove it, which is always a bit of a headache, because then you have to go back and redo the whole thing. But this is just a basic black. It's not very thick, so it should take on the characteristics underneath, which it does. Just so it's still not very much. It's subtle, which is nice. Some of these little areas were really difficult to get into, but I did finish that off. Painting the claws now, which I've already painted black, so I'm just going to put over a very thin silver. It's more of a gunmetal. I didn't want to make them like super shiny, even though they are in the movies and stuff, but I wanted them to be a little bit more realistic. And the same with the boot claw. Painted black and then the silver, light silver over the top, and I'm going to do the buckles while we're down here with more of the gunmetal silver. I'll come back and do the buckles a bit later. These are just the plates. Left boot. We'll do a belt, which is all silver. Just highlight it over the top. Again, I should really be looking at doing this with a bit of masking. Just get some masking fluid. Just stop those accidental things getting in all the crevices. I'll come back later and paint the actual belt itself black. This is there's a leather belt underneath this, which is black. See that. Yes, definitely have to look into doing some masking. Use some masking techniques with masking fluid. And then we put it all together, and this is what it came out like after I painted the buckle with the red cross. There you go. I'm going to work on my prep, and I'm going to work on masking as well, so hopefully that will make my models a bit better. I hope you enjoyed the video.